We'll get there. Well, we'll get there. 1 second. I think we got it. Yes, we do. Okay. Good morning, and welcome to another rendition of 3 Minutes After Midnight. I am your host, Dr. Clark Schmidt. Going to take you on a tour of the city of Milwaukee to the most famous hauntings of the city itself. This morning, on our tour, I'm going to be stopping over at the Eagles Rave Club. The Eagles Club, before it came to the Rave, was established in 1927, and they became chartered in 1928. Now, the Eagles had its own fraternal order, which was the Eagles. And if I remember rightly, it was for businessmen of the city. And you had such people as Pabst, Frederick Pabst, and my great grandfather, Augustus Ritz, and like I said, more of the founding fathers of the city itself. Of course, you could apply to join the club, just like the Moose or the Elks, the American the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and other such fraternal or orders. Okay. But let's just say is that the Eagles Club back then, back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, was very prestigious, especially for the city of Milwaukee. Now, of course, the Eagles Club is a big organization, and they expanded out into other states. But I would have to say is that the Eagles Club in Milwaukee would be like the hub. Would be the center of the organization itself. Now, during the time, back in the 20s, especially again back in 27, 28, 29, and then the 30s, 40s, 50s, is that back in the late 20s is that you had traveling vaudeville shows that would come to the city, and they would perform their acts on the ballroom in the ballroom. Or else you had like the big bands back in the 30s and 40s that came in. We're talking about like Glenn Miller and Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey. You're talking about Red Nichols. Glenn Gray and other top big bands of that era. Also, you might have had people come in from Hollywood that performed on in the ballroom. Um, Comedians back in the again like comedians also back in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s all the way up until now is that you had rock groups come in like Buddy Holly and Richie Valance and the Big Bopper and Bill Haley and his Comets and even Elvis Presley uh, came in, or even Liberace to perform his dazzling piano pieces. You could also had big rock groups back in the '60s. Could have been like Jefferson Airplane and Tommy James and Tommy James and the Shirandales. I'm trying to think of some others real quick here. I don't know if the Doors came in or not. Um, but as the 70s, 80s, 90s progressed, you had more club acts that came in. Then then the rave or the venue bought out some of the clubs, some of the Eagles club itself. So the Eagles and the venue or the rave merged. And today in 2017 is that you still have the best groups from around the country come in and perform. Sometimes they would go also to Pabst Theater or to the Milwaukee Strand or to the Pfister, wherever. Okay, so like I said, the Eagles was very popular, and it still is, especially when it comes to when the venue merged. Uh, with the order as well. But it's also another popular thing about the Eagles rave. Excuse me. It's haunted. It's definitely haunted, and it was like how should I say? There was a young man that drowned in the pool, and the pool area is big. I mean, you might say is that the pool is a uh, Olympic size. And yes, people still congregate around the pool area, and they do swim. Right now, I would like to show you some pictures of the Eagles club if it works out. So if you just give me a second here, so I can turn this around, and I hope it works. So uh, let me see here. I'm going to close. So like I said, it's pretty hard here. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this out. Okay, here that we see, this is on, usually when things actually happened, it was like on a Saturday night where the husbands would bring their, where guys would bring their girlfriends and husbands brought their wives. Also, the Eagles they served some fantastic food. Okay, I'm going to see here. Can get to a Uh, gonna have to cut this down. So, like I said, just give me a minute. Uh, okay, there we go. Oops. Excuse me for 1 minute. Just excuse me for a minute. Like I said, it's a little difficult. Fine. Just give me a minute. Okay, we're kind of getting there. uh, okay. Here you see, this is the original Eagles Club, built in 1926, and they became actually charted, back in 1927. It hasn't really changed much. Besides what you see where it says Eagles Club, it will say Eagles Rave Club. And of course, being they did some renovations. I mean, like the Rave did some renovations, and it looks nice. Okay, so like I said, this is the old Eagles Club, the original building back in 1926. Now, just give me a second again. There we go. The way that I got these pictures set up in my albums is kind of screwy, so that's the reason why just taking so long to show you here. But we'll get there. I'm just looking for some more here. I didn't want to. Okay, I wanted to show you the pool area of where this young man drowned. Here. Not too far. Okay. We'll get there. Where are we? Ah, here we go. Okay, here you see. Okay, here you see. This is the ballroom, and I guess and again, this is taken on a Saturday night, and you see people dancing. So there could have been one of the big bands that was playing that night in the ballroom itself. Okay, see if I can find another one here. Okay, I found it, which I've been looking for. Okay, Just let me zoom in here. Here we go. Okay, this is as I was talking about. This is the pool. This is the pool area. Okay, and people would come down to swim and just to congregate and maybe have a meal at one of the tables here. And this is where the young man drowned. What was in the pool right here itself, and it's been said is that the floor can be dry, but yet you see like footprints, and nobody has gone swimming in the pool itself. So they say is that this young man's spirit, gets out of the water and walks for a distance, and then all of a sudden the footsteps disappear. Um, Also, it is told is that little children are heard once in a while screaming, and the screams are as the fun of play. And there has been people, that have said even with the venue. Some of the managers of the venue have mentioned the same thing um, with with these children, and of course again down in the pool area where they see the footsteps leading a few feet, and all of a sudden they just disappear. So yes, is that the so yes that the Eagles Rave Club is haunted. I think that I got a picture of the rave here. Let me take a look. Okay, gotta go back. Maybe I don't. Um, Maybe I don't. No, I don't. Okay, I do not have. I do not have the rave. I do not have the rave. If I happen to find one, if I happen to find a picture or two, I will definitely show you the what the rave actually what the rave uh, actually looks like. I do apologize, and I don't like to use that word, but I do apologize because of the pictures being out of sequence. But I got so many pictures that I have taken throughout the years that they're just not. And I started an album to where I can go right to everything, and somehow it got decombobulated and it disappeared, like just disappeared. Like in a port. Okay, so again, I do apologize for some of the footage in this video. Um, the next one that I will be putting up will be a lot more congruent and more consistent. Um, so don't have to go through that I don't have to go through some of the rigmarole that we went through here. Um, but anyways, it is like I said, this is our first stop to from in Milwaukee, and like I said, we got about let's see, we just got done with the Eagles. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about six more in the city of Milwaukee itself. Um, so the journey is going to be long, but it's going to be, but it's, but it's going to be fun. Okay, so I hope that you, without the non-editing, if you will, of the video, is that I hope that you enjoyed it, and the next one I'm going to be uploading is going to be a surprise, and it's going to be it's going to be very informative. Okay. So let me get this one. So let me get this one up, and I'm going to work on the next video, so I have everything, as they say, my ducks all in a row, so I don't have to go through this rigmarole again of trying to find pictures. Okay. With that, I will talk to you later. Bye.